Alright, starting up the stream. Can everyone hear me? I just want to make sure before I begin. As always, ever since a bad experience where quite a few audio of the stream was cut off. I just want to make sure. Can everyone hear me? And welcome to the stream, Burner Boy, Kyle, Stubbs, Jedog, and Lipatio. Alright, you can hear me then. That's good. Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker, this time live. This is the 20th ever live session I'm doing, and during this session, I'll be covering a combination of year-submitted levels and levels that I find online. I'll first be starting off with levels that I wasn't able to cover during the last stream. So I'll be starting off with Wet Man by Jedog74, with 16 plays and a score of 4. If you want one of your levels to be covered during this stream, please leave the level ID in the chat. Feel free to submit levels by other authors as well, in case you don't have any. And for the queue of levels, and for the list of levels currently on the queue, go over here. It's another level by Jedog. Last time I played through it as Mega Man. Let's go through this one as Proto Man. Thankfully it doesn't take double damage. And according to the title, this is going to be a water-based level. If it isn't apparent already. Already liking the overall unified blue and gray aesthetics. And I will add Shindeiru's level to the queue as well. Thank you for submitting. The spikes are kind of blending in with the background though because of similar colors. I see the life down there, but it's kind of a trap. If I had a limited set of lives, sure I'd go for it. Nice selection of challenges, gradually escalating stuff. As TV tropes call it, antipiece. And my apologies if it sounds like there's static in the background. My AC is currently running. Welcome to the stream, Hamza Winnery. Glad you can make it. I said it's kind of like a trap. Overall, this stage has a pretty nice aesthetic. I like how it's now taking place in a rainstorm, and wow, this is beautiful as well. Already getting A in aesthetics. And the stage isn't brutally hard, it's something a regular skilled Mega Man Maker player can accomplish. And it can be made even easier when using special weapons. Checkpoint placement is great. I honestly like this stage a lot more than Sockman, which I played during the morning stream. Here it feels like the music, aesthetics, and gimmicks are all in sync. Whereas that one felt a bit... It didn't feel like the aesthetics and gimmicks were all in sync. It felt like they were mismatched a bit. That was especially the case with its music. But this, everything feels like it's coming together in a wonderful package. For a Mega Man Maker level, this already gets to 7 or 7.5 out of 10. And also, welcome to the stream, Shindeiru. Boss is Iceman. Not sure why that's his weakness, but alright. And I get the water wave for as spoils. Currently my favorite level of the episode. Wonderful job, Jedok. You deserve the pat on the back. Second up is Facing the Storm and the Mud Normal by Lipatio, with 31 plays and a score of 7. And for those who arrived later, to check out what levels are currently in the queue, go to this link. And due to the memory leak issue, I'll have to reset the game every 8 or 9 levels, otherwise later levels take a long time to load up. Another pretty aesthetic, a rainstorm during the sunset. Whoa, that's strange. Why was the screen transition so slow there? Everywhere it seems. The stage itself isn't lagging though, only the screen transitions. Usually both are connected, if one lags the other will lag. Also, much easier than the first stage I played by Lipatio during the morning stream. Also, very good aesthetic. Also, pretty good aesthetics. Maybe not very good, but pretty good. I still say the previous level had better aesthetics, but this is no slouch either. See, even resetting it doesn't take that long to happen. The strangest part is when there's screen transitions, that's when it starts lagging. Oh, I thought I'd make the jump there. That was my bad. I should have done a slide jump. Oh, that's why. It shifted over to the other type of rain. I didn't pay attention. Eesh, that was my bad again. Still, I feel all these challenges are under my purview of skill level. The strange thing is that only the screen transitions are laggy, not the general gameplay. Usually when the screen transitions are laggy, then the gameplay is laggy too. What's with the discrepancy here? Should have waited there. One of the situations where I wish sometimes the XDiegoBrohts could have outlines. You know, this level would be fun to race as well. It has a suitable amount of challenge while not being too difficult. Is there something down here? Nope, I was hoping there'd be a hidden screen transition because of blood red water. Also like how the sun is now the sky is blood red. Or bloody purple. pinkish red. There are some odd background elements though. See over here and here. An extra pickup if you're skilled enough. Kinda reminds me of that one stage by the last level I played during the morning stream, but with a lot more tolerance for failure. Now we're in the rainwater basin. The levels I'm playing right now are easily better than most of the stages I played during the morning stream. I'll go to left? Okay. I'll test that out. Sneaky! Most players wouldn't actually check this area. Don't worry, I saw your first message. I have to do this every time I die though. This is one of the situations where I probably should play with ultra low latency. See what I mean? I just need to get used to the timing. I haven't really used the rain flash that much in the game. Oh, I love how I can one-shot him with the fully charged flame bazooka. Easily one of the more powerful weapons that in Mega Man Maker. It's already powerful at base at long range, but this makes it even more powerful. That's a lot of jump height. One fully charged shot kills him, yep. But all 3 shots need to hit him at once, otherwise it won't work. It appears when the boss has a weakness to the flame bazooka, they are really weak to it. He needs to just 1 or 2 shot them. Oops. Left. This may take a few attempts to get back there. Even without using the flame bazooka, he's a cakewalk, as his grenades can't detonate on the right side. That's why I was worried about facing off against him over and over. Phew, that was a bit of a close one, but I made it. I don't really have a concrete block, so I just need to wait. And there are no enemies to worry about. Now being slightly obscured. Good thing I played enough Mega Man Maker to roughly know where Proto Man is. Oh, Sockman is electric based? Well, I guess it makes sense. Super strong rain. Well, at least I can overpower it a bit. Especially with dashing. Bashing actually really overpowers the wind. Even more so compared to sliding. I wish more levels took advantage of the rain and wind and base's double jumping capabilities, dashing and double jumping. That'll make for some fun level design, as evidenced here. And it doesn't need to be too punishing either. Now the stage is lagging a lot more with the rainstorms, wind, and everything else. Well, you didn't actually need to put a Yoshiki there, but thank you for your consideration. For lesser skilled players. You know, I would think that the Fan Fiends would actually have a stronger effect on me, but they don't. Definitely an honorable mention this episode, and perhaps a co-favorite. I like this a lot better than all the other previous stages by Lipatio played this morning. This is the one that should have gone in the most popular queue more than anything else. Did you see what was happening there? See, I could actually shoot while I was still under that form. Even when I had the trouble boost enabled, I could still shoot, even though I'm supposed to be frozen in place. Well, that's an odd bug. I don't think that's his weakness, but it's the best to use against him. See, the reason why I'd rather use the fully charged Flame Bazooka is because it deals 6 damage per hit. Plus, it's a lot more risky and fun. Good work, Lipatio. One of your best levels this stream, and for this week, for that matter. Welcome to the stream, Shaun Willaims. Hold on for a moment, I have to go back. I have to resolve something right now. Alright, back. Sorry for the interruption. Third up is Mega Man Rock Force Crypt Man by the K-Man 100 with 21 plays and a score of 7. The K-Man 100 aka Kyle Stubbs. Your level's up. I'll next be covering Shindeiru's levels, then I'll be showcasing some of the alternate pathways and Shaun Willaims' levels. Mainly the Riddler series Part 1 and Part 2. I already covered them in a dedicated episode, but I skipped over to some of the alternate pathways, mainly in Part 2. I skipped over a lot of them. So this is going to be a recreation of Crypt Man from Rock Force. These used to be a lot more deadly, being grabbers. Instead, they're just boxes. Oh yes, the Spelunker enemies dropping from above. Frankly, these aren't as durable. Oh, I remember how many times I died due to not being able to button mash fast enough. When I did my Rock Force Let's Play, I didn't have a controller, so I had to do it all on my keyboard. Which meant that really durable enemies were more difficult to destroy. And this is probably the normal mode version of the level, not the hard mode version. Plus my charge shot charges faster. And is bigger. Oh yes, the bomb dropping enemies. First checkpoint. Definitely following the 4 checkpoint format. The default one. Sadly, I couldn't take advantage of quick resetting during my playthrough. Sadly, no nitro wheel. Or rather, wheel cutter. Oh, I remember the bomb-dropping ravens. They were a huge pain to deal with on hard mode. Especially as I went to Crypt Man as my first stage. That was my second stage, I think. That was a poor idea. The reason was so I can get a particular order of Roadmasters. And it did a lot more damage compared to this. About halfway through now. This used to be a gargoyle mini-boss. And you had to lead away the fireballs so you wouldn't get hit. Not too difficult here, but the third iteration, the second or third one, oh, that was a pain. Also, the bomb spiders here, or whatever these bomb-dropping enemies were called, a lot more hazardous as well originally. Because they were faster at dropping their explosive payloads. Well, Crypt Man's weapon was the Crypt Walker. It was much more... Okay, this was the boss I was talking about. Here you can just stand down, you can just stay down here and you will be fine. But in the boss battle, because it kept aiming at you, it was much more challenging. Plus, during this boss battle, you're going to be assaulted by the bomb-dropping ravens. Here, you don't need to worry about that. So this is the normal mode version of the stage. On the hard mode, you have to worry about those. And again, your charge shot was slower to charge up in Rock Force as well. And if you got hit by your charge shot, you lost it. Crypt Cloak, yeah, that's the one. It made you invulnerable to all enemies excluding spikes, and whenever you jumped and landed back on the ground, it created a short-range shockwave. A lot more unique than the usual bomb weapon. And to be fair, the bomb weapon in Rock Force was much more unique. Well, one of the 3 bomb weapons. I'm referring to the Phantom Fuse. Such a unique line-guided bomb, wire-guided bomb. Crypt Man. He does jump around quite a bit. But to be fair, compared with his stage, Crypt Man is a lot easier. He's very pattern-based. And this is where we rescue our first Roadmaster. It was Nightman, or would-be Nightman. Shaun, when I showcase the level, I'm going to be showcasing it mainly using the level editor, not so much going through it normally. But thanks for the heads up. Fourth up is Mega Man X1 Flame Mammoth Stage, with 117 plays and a score of 38. This is by Shindeiru. We're getting a lot of recreation stages during today, more than usual. Alright, here's my compromise. For the first part of the stage, sure, I'll check out the sewer with the cutter, the alternative route, and once I complete it, I'm going off to use the level editor. I will extensively use the level editor for part 2 though. Let's see here, we only have the windstorm to replace the storm tornado, and the quick boomerang to replace, I guess, the boomerang cutter. And that's how we get this Dr. Light capsule. In this case, the charge shot upgrade. If I'm not mistaken. Below there's the lava, or in this case, red water. Could be industrial refuse as well. To replace the workers. There used to be a life tank, but there used to be a life upgrade down over there. You usually need to complete Chill Penguin stage first before you can access it though. And I probably missed an A-tank to the top left, which used to be a sub-tank. You press down the garbage. Although these are not instant death now. And they do not activate as quickly either. To be fair though, this is at least mostly faithful to the original stage within the limitations of this engine, and it works well with Mega Man Classic's gameplay. The part of the stage with the hot vents. Ah yes, these used to be Mace Joes. Alright, okay, I'll use the level editor for part 1, but for part 2, do you want me to collect all the special weapons I would have had up to that point and instead take the actual normal route? Because I remember what I had back up to that point. As in, I'll collect all the special weapons I had up until the point where I had the shortcut. I'll add those in the level editor and then proceed on normally. Okay, I'll do that. I'm gonna do that so I can save time and cover more stages. Using his own weapon against them. Decent recreation. I would have preferred if the background was a bit more vibrant. At the very least it was faithful, so it deserves a positive score. So now I'm going to download both parts of the Riddler series. The updated, again, Riddler series. Now let's just hope the game doesn't lag when loading it up. There can be some strange oddities there. For part 1, I'm going to showcase most of it using a level editor. And if anyone else wants to submit their levels, please do so right now, as there's nothing else ahead of the queue following Shaun Willaims stages. Feel free to suggest levels by other authors if you enjoy their stages enough. Use this website to find something to tickle your fancy if you don't have anything currently up. Yeah, off screen, when I did the Let's Play version of your stage, I edited out at least 90 seconds of loading time, or 60 seconds. If I have to open up in the level editor, it takes twice as long. Alright, here we are. As I mentioned, it takes twice as long to load up the levels than to actually play them normally. So here's where we normally start the level, get the Mega Buster, go over here, the usual. Then you have the split pathways, you have the Ice Slasher up above, which is the route I took. You can also just go to the right, lose the jet adapter, and then go through the electric section, where you face off against Spark Man. Or as Shaun Willaims mentioned, you can go down here and get the charge kick. Basically, I'm just going to quickly go over the routes that I already went through during my Let's Play and more carefully examine the route which I didn't take. I know for a fact I moved over one route. The one route where you're supposed to go through after you collect the skull barrier. For one, I didn't actually decide to pick up Proto Man. I was under the mistaken impression for both stages that Proto Man took double damage, but that is not the case. Alright, this is also where you gain access to the skull barrier, but what I did a trick where I just nabbed this before I lost the jet adapter, and then went into here. So go up here. This is an entirely new pathway which I didn't take originally. One where you have to deal with killer bullets, puka pellies, petite devils, big eyes, and various other enemies. Where you gain access to the skull barrier actually, and are able to jump over here. Lose access to charge kick so you don't break it. Although, frankly, you can just jump over it. And you regain the charge kick. Frankly, there are a few of these blocks, weapon removers, which you can easily circumvent, but I guess that's part of the design. Hold on for a moment, the game decided to freeze. That's one of the other issues with these longer levels. Sometimes the game decides to choke. No idea why. Bunch of extra E-tanks. This is a really dedicated route which I never actually noticed. I thought it was going to be a short diversion, but no. There's Fairman, who I faced off against once. And where I can swap back over to Mega Man or go through here. We already really saw the ice route, so let's fast forward to the right. Pretty much the same. It's trivialized by having the jet adapter and or the skull barrier. This section with the crash lift, which then leads over to the end of the stage as long as you have a spare key, as well as the Ice Slasher, and a means to get up over here. If not, well, you're forced to go back over here and get the rolling cutter. Which leads over to Cut Man. And that's also a quick way to get back there. So we saw this. Oh yeah, the fire stage. This is something I didn't really encounter either. The way to get into here is from whatever this teleporter is. Oh yeah, the lower teleporter. If you don't have access to the Shine, you're going down over here. But because there's redundancies in terms of weapon pickups, I did need to go through here. Which adds to this stage's replayability, and props to Shaun Willaims for adding that. It makes the stage feel more like a Metroidvania or exploration level. Compared with the sandy route, this is certainly much more straightforward. A lot more fire though. And leads over to a battle against Flame Man. I don't think I faced off against him once. But once you defeat him, you gain access to the Firestorm. And, of course, the game is frozen again. That's one thing I wish they fixed in a future update. If the game keeps freezing when you have to go when you load up a longer stage. And then you can escape out of here. Which then leads over, that's an alternative way to get to the end of the stage, where you face off against the boss gauntlet as Spring Man, Metal Man, Charge Man, and finally Crash Man. Well, that's the fire gauntlet, that's the watery part. Okay, now let's look at this one. I don't remember exploring this part of the stage. Not sure what the order is here. It was either in the original version of the stage or was added. So think of this as the underwater gauntlet. Yeah, this is definitely new. I never had all these petite snakies. The alternative way to get all these special weapons back. And it leads back over here. I remember this one though. This is where I had to use the jet adapter and charge kick to get across. You're supposed to instead use the skull barrier and other things, but I made it so much easier. Then it leads back over here, an alternative way to get the Proto Man capsule too. Rest of the enemies I already went through this section, and where I faced off against Toad Man, who gave us access to, I believe, also the Skull Bearer if we didn't take the lower route, as well as an E-Tank. And it all leads back over here where I could just go backwards. So those are the three pathways which I didn't take in the level. The sandy pathway, the fire pathway, and the underwater pathway. But for the most part, there are redundancies, so you don't need to really go through them. Compared with Part 2, I feel Part 1 is the more exploratory one, whereas the second part is more directed. It doesn't open up as much, is what I'm saying. Now on to Part 2. Be right back in a moment. And I'm back, and the stage is still loading up. I'm gonna have to exit and re-enter Mega Man Maker because probably the RAM's gonna be chewed up. And the game, or at least Game Maker's assets. Sure, I do level Lipatio. As I was saying, what I'll be doing is I'll basically plonk myself where I last left off before I took the shortcut with the 2 keys and probably most of the special weapons I had up to that point during the last of the episode, if I recall correctly, and then proceed on normally. Once I complete the stage again, I'll just open up the level editor and show off the other routes I didn't take. That's one thing I like about the Riddler series, how there are multiple ways to go through the stage, and it's much more forgiving compared to most of the stages by Shaun Willaims. Ah, here it is. Yeah, and that looks right in terms of... Alright, I didn't realize this is actually isolated, but makes sense. Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, I was right about here, I think. So, let's see... If I recall correctly, I had 2 keys. In terms of pickups, I had the Windstorm, Super Arrow, Time Slow, Oil Slider, oh, what happened? Okay. Yeah, for some reason if the map is on screen at the same time, even if something's over it, it can override it. Yeah, I gave Oil Slider to myself twice. Yeah, Super Adapter, that's the one I had. What else was up here? Windstorm, that's the one that was left. Alright, I think that's all I need. Now let's give myself a bunch of E-tanks to replicate what I had before. Okay, no time and laser. Thank you. Alright, I hope this is right. Let's do it. Shouldn't put that lower. Now I can take... You're normally supposed to take this route, but I just went back up there and took the shortcut to the end. So let's see what's behind this door. Oh, I see. I didn't realize there was a hole down here. Stone Man, never faced off against him before. Welcome to the stream, Fox and Yellow Socks. Glad you could make it. If you have any levels you'd like me to cover, let me know right now. So that's how I get the Gemini laser. Sadly I can't get through here because I need the hard knuckle. Now Bubble Man. Time slow would be handy here. Not taking chances, plus, well, by this point, why not? So that's how I actually regained the time slow here. Now I just need to jump down that pit. Still underwater by the... Oh. I thought in the original version of the stage you were not supposed to get the hard knuckle, but apparently you do. I thought it was just an aesthetic decoration. Yeah, let's do a quick reset then. I can't reach it. I can't really go back up now. I'm gonna have to use the elevator again. I don't remember this, so... Wow, okay. I want to see what's on the right route first, then I'll go back up. Remember, I have the power of the level editor. But this is completely new to me, so thank you for pointing it out. Welcome to the stream, Diego. Glad to see you made it. More stuff that's new. I'm gonna wait for this to drain. And end up dying anyway because I've waited too long. Remember, if you have any levels you want me to cover, give them to me right now in chat. There's nothing else in front of the queue other than Lipatio's level, but I don't want to cover it just yet. Oops. Now I see what he meant. So now I'm stuck here because I can't get out. I need the Ice Slasher. Alright, time to bring up the level editor yet again. So after facing off against Bubble Man here, I'm just gonna place Mega Man right over here and re-give everything. And that should be it. Unless I forgot something. I want to see what's on the right side of the stage and I forgot the keys. Of all the things, that's the silliest thing. Alright, if you say so. I'll just place Mega Man right over there and just give everything. Wish there was a more rapid way of doing this. Sorry if this is slower, but... that should do the trick now. Assuming I can pull it off faster. Seriously, need even faster? Okay, so that's how we do it. Alright, I'll cover your level after this one, Diego. Use the remaining key to get through. And where I need to add the Gemini laser next. So it's a chain. It's essentially a chain now. And there's another checkpoint here too. That's the only weapon I forgot to add to Mega Man. Fine, I'll just put it here. At this point in the stage, you probably should have access to all the special weapons. Now I can get out of here safely. All these areas are just new to me, so... hence why the stage feels like a Metroidvania. Backtracking is required. And for those who are watching live stream, don't worry. If you want to see the stage played properly, just check out the Riddler Part 1 and Part 2. These are just the areas which I never went through, as not all the areas are required to get through to complete. That should take care of both of them. Nothing's there, so down we go. Seriously, how much of the stage did I miss? I missed a lot more pathways compared with what happened in Part 1. Alright, I already went through this section, so now the stage is looping in on itself. So that covers this route. This gives us the super adapter officially, and I remember this route. It nabs us 3 keys. And it actually leads back over here, so we can get the hard knuckle and go back down over here. Take this route, get the Gemini laser. And that's how we loop back around. Oh, that's new, okay. Then we regain the skull barrier, deal with all these hot dogs. Another spike drop. another way to get Proto Man or Mega Man. Do this section reverse. Then we get out of here and have to ascend upwards, I guess. And that's the alternative, and once you climb upwards, get this checkpoint, that's the final way to actually face off against Hard Man. Frankly, I take the shortcut route compared to the actual route. For one, it's a lot less dangerous, especially near the end, and it rewards players who don't want to spend their keys immediately. Nevertheless, I still thank the Shaun Willaims for having multiple routes to the stage, and how there are several optional areas which some players will never get to because they take one route over the other to get the special weapon. Or perhaps don't want all the special weapons. That's why I said this stage is kind of like a Metroidvania. Anyways, moving on to Diego stage. Snake Man Level Hard by XDiegoBroht with 14 plays and a score of 3. Certainly one of your better stages, Shaun. The fact that you can miss these actually adds to replayability. I'm just concerned how difficult this stage is going to be. I'm probably going to have to take a short break after this. Welcome to the stream, Burner Boy. Feel free to suggest levels. A lot of tomahawk axes. Feel free to suggest levels by other authors. Already this level is so much easier than a fun level 1 and 2. Once again, poor Tama. Even doubled up, they aren't too challenging. Compared with a fun level Part 1 and Part 2, this level feels like it was designed by a completely different author. It's so much less punishing. I know there's this section, but still, it's a lot less painful compared to the equivalent in the fun level. It's the second jump and third jump which is going to prove to be the most problematic ones. I need to initiate the jump closer to the right. But if I stay closer to the right, that means I'm ever closer to dying on the spikes. And sliding off the edge extends my hitbox, but it goes both ways. Seriously? The hardest part of any of these levels is making over the spinning tops when there are spikes nearby. See, the placement of the spike is the issue. I really wish it was just one square to the right. See what I mean? Just one pixel off. And I can't trust the engine enough to be to the right because of the hitboxes and the spikes. And that can happen too, if this is better designed. And if it suddenly decides to... forget it. Complaining about it won't do anything. This aspect of the engine will probably never change. Reminder, in part 1, this summer challenge took over 15 minutes to complete, and are always the least fun of any one of these stages. They do not mesh well with this engine's design. Well, there are other engines which are similar to it which don't have several of the problems. See Magmal 2 and Magmal 3 and the Mega Mix engine. I wish those became more popular compared to Mega Man Maker. If I keep failing here for the next 3 minutes, I'm just gonna open up this in the level editor. This is no fun. Okay, did it. I don't know exactly what I did differently there. I really hope there's a checkpoint nearby. The issue is not so much responsiveness, but inconsistency. I keep complaining in Mega Man Maker of drop button inputs and the spike hitboxes. Those are my main issues with this engine over everything else. That's why I'm always so hesitant at doing slide jumps off of edges or going near spikes, because I can't be 100% sure the engine's going to pick it up. About 5 to 10% of the button inputs have dropped, 5%-ish. That's why I keep lauding the Mega Mix engine and the Magmal 2 engine. They have a much lower ratio of drop button inputs. No, it's not the same here. I have to press jump after hitting the ground before Mega Man will jump. It's not that kind of responsive. But there are better ways of doing it. See Mega Mix. At least it feels to me. You basically have to hit jump on exactly 1 frame after Mega Man hits the ground before Mega Man will jump. See, these sections are a lot more bearable. So much more tolerance for failure, and that was my bad for not paying attention. That's why I say, whenever you play harder levels in this engine, or any level in this engine, treat the entire game as a Kaizo game, and partially a troll game. It'll make your life so much easier. Also, square hitboxes of spikes, they look bigger than they actually are. That's true for all the games in the Mega Mix engine, but combined with all the aforementioned issues, it makes it so much worse here. And this is a section you have to repeat over and over if you fail. I'm not really having fun with this stage. It's not as difficult as a fun level, but that one section has already drained me quite a bit. And compared with all the other levels I played in the stream, my least favorite one. And there's a danger of clipping right through the crash lifts too. Just don't move and you'll be fine. See what I mean about the engine pulling out stuff like this? I was nowhere near there. You know what, I'm just gonna open up the level editor. This is not going fun, and the engine's making it way much more horrible. And I'd rather not spend all the time over and over in the same section on this kind of stage. I'd rather spend more time on other levels. Also, menu. Yeah, you have to learn about the hitboxes in this. The other peculiar to this engine is that, probably maintained from the NES games, hitboxes aren't really as consistent as you expect them to be. They're consistent per character, per object, they always match up there. The issue is that you think they'd be as forgiving or not as forgiving across the board, but no. Agreed, but I'm just comparing it with stuff like the Mega Mix engine, Magmal 2, that came around at the same time, and already they're much better in terms of controller design. That's why I find it so strange that out of all this time as the Mega Man Maker has been released, why haven't they fixed these? Why haven't they made it better? Frankly, I feel they should have spent more time hiring devs and sprite artists much earlier. This is marked as being version 1.x, so it should be closer to complete. It is Snake, yeah. Also, I understand the idea of this section, it's just that it's so slow, and if you die, you can lose up to 90 seconds to 2 minutes of progress. That's why I don't really like it, and there's the end of the level. We all know that Crystal Man is going to be pretty easy to deal with, so I'll just move over it. Sorry I wasn't able to complete this stage normally, it just was too frustrating for me. There's that one section with the toss with the spikes nearby, combining the main issues of this engine, and then the snake block, which you can lose all progress if you're not careful. Very careful. One of the levels you find an expert or super expert in Mario Maker. So now I'm going to be covering Burner Boy's level, the one they submitted. Hexagon Man by Cutman69, with 13 plays and a score of 2. Let's hope that this stage is a bit better. And much easier. Infinite Drill Bomb. This is looking to be fun. Concrete Man already. I never really played Super Mario Maker, but I love what trend it started of Mario Maker-like games, and brought more attention to the Mario Maker-like games already pre-existing, like Super Mario X. Could do with a lot of improvements, but that's what Super Mario Maker 2 is for. I just wish it had the 100-man Mario mode, and its multiplayer was better. I mean, there are quite a few lag issues with the multiplayer in Mario Maker 2. And this is from the same developers as Super Mario Kart. Those didn't really have the lag issues. Let's go down. Sorry Diego, but I'll be covering a level by a different author. Basically, 2 other level designers, then Lipatio, then I'll be ending off the stream. Well, these are some neat setups. We don't really see that many levels combining both of these. But I will cover it during the next Mega Man Maker stream on Saturday. Well, technically not the next one, but you understand. What do I do here then? How do I get up there? Oh. See, this red block here really looks like it's part of the foreground to me. That's why I thought you can't go over here. That's how you get the key. Not sure if the intention was to be a bit confusing. Likely another key on the other side. Yep. Wonder why there's a staircase. Doesn't seem to be a reason why. Frankly, this stage is a lot more devoid of enemies than I initially expected. Middleman is our boss. And it's done. Far more pleasant stage than the previous one. But as I said, I'll cover your next stage, Diego, during the next stream. And when I say next stream, I mean the stream on Saturday. There will be an extra Mega Man Maker stream on Monday. as that's looking up to be the 2nd anniversary of Mega Man Maker. Stage was basically a short rompy level. Let's take a look at this. Technology Zone by Mr. Goose. Technology Zone by Mr. Goose with 20 plays and a score of 5. I'd rather pick this than the more obvious stage titles, as they're probably just short rompy levels. Or even concepts for that matter. But this one seems to have at least a decent length. Aesthetics are pleasing. Does feel like we're at a server rack. Probably a checkpoint room, but there are no checkpoints here. There should have been at least a few enemies here. The green room. I guess the no cooling station. It feels like it's going more in terms of aesthetics compared with the previous stage, but is a little bit on the rompy side. In essence, it's okay. It's mainly held up by its aesthetics and okay design. Okay to decent design. It doesn't really feel like it has its own gimmicks, it's just being mainly held up by its aesthetics. I can make it in time. This time I'll wait. Also, starting from this week, after Monday, I'll be reducing the number of Mega Man Maker videos I have per week down to 3. 1 pre-recorded and 2 live streams. That way I can reduce the burnout. It'll become a lot easier when Sonic Studio finally comes out. I really want to play Sonic Maker. And just like with Mega Man Maker, I'll very likely make it a regular series. Frankly, I'm waiting for a Mega Man... Well, to be fair, there's already a Maker game out there with scripting, and that one is Mario X. Super Mario X. I was just hoping that Sonic Studio has some support for scripting. Not over yet. I don't get the relations between all the bosses though. We first had Bomb Man, then Hard Man. Who is next? Crash Man? Background missing on the left side. Should have been filled in. It's a minor complaint, but it adds up. For a rompy level, this was okay, I guess. The next Mega Man ROM hack I'm going to be playing tomorrow is Rockman 4 randomized. Let's see how that turns out. Following that, I'll probably play Mega Man 2 Atari D-Make. But we'll see. Or perhaps another Mega Man ROM hack. And it's done. The computer systems have been infiltrated and shut down. For a most popular queue level, it's actually fairly good. I found that, well, maybe it's a minor trend. When you're looking at the most popular queue levels, look for the ones that aren't as popular and have a bit more interesting names than the usual one. There you may find something interesting. Let's take a look at this one. Jungle Fortress by Paul Blart 2, with 29 plays and a score of 8. No, not Paul Blart 2, Paul Blart Awu, or Awu. After this stage, I'll be playing Lipatio stage, and then I'll be ending off the stream. Now I know I was hoping the stage was actually going for something, but it's probably only surviving on its recognition, its naming recognition. Normally a bad idea, but this is actually a nice risk versus reward. Oh, and that's actually it. I was hoping this was the starter level, but no. The only reason I got a high score was probably because of this boss battle, the risk versus reward, but most likely it's because of the naming. So the 11th and final level of this stream is Mega Man at the Hydroelectric Plant, normal, with 27 plays and a score of 5. You're up, Lipatio. Your stages got covered the most during the 2 streams combined. 4 stages in all. Sorry, Burner Boy, but I won't be able to cover your level during this stream. I'll be covering it during the next stream. Even if it's harder than the previous one, it'll very likely not be as hard as that Thunderclaw and the Mega Ball stage. And it's still going to be better designed than many stages on the most popular queue. Don't worry, it'll be up for next Saturday. Make sure to visit tomorrow's stream for Rockman 4 Randomized. We're in for a... I don't know what kind of time actually. It may be easy, it may be difficult, it may be something in between. Also, I do like how in most of the Lipatio stages, every time we hit a checkpoint, there is a Shiki there. No need to bother with the life restores. I swear I was holding left there on the controller. The dam water is below there. Are we starting from the base of the dam and moving our way upwards? Uh-oh. Actually, that isn't too bad. They come down as soon as possible. And I failed there because I can't bounce off of them. And perhaps Freeze Man with the Freeze Cracker 2 Jetok? Now from off screen. Should have waited there. Well, this is neat. Yeah, if you use the Freeze Cracker against Freeze Man, the game will pause for a moment, Freeze Man will do his pose again, and he'll heal up some of his HP. Well, I knew I was gonna die there. I took too much damage. Why do the fish sometimes change direction suddenly? Oh, I see. Died in the same place because it immediately fractured. The main danger here are the fish's inconsistent movement and the elect block traps. They probably have a patrol radius they'll never go over. Yeah, this elect block trap setup is... you need to wait a lot longer. Thank you for the pickup. Doesn't extend further enough to the right. Seriously? Yeah, those are one of the enemies that act a bit inconsistently with the top spin. Oh. Okay, I have to wait for it. Again, one of the reasons why I wish in Mega Man Maker we had local timers. I was hoping I could rush past it, but no. Or have the ability to actually add XDiegoBroht outlines, so players know they're forced to wait. Well, at least this section isn't too bad. You could get by faster by damage boosting at the correct spots, but not recommended. Where are the XDiegoBrohts there? Oh no, don't tell me. Yeah. It's this sort of challenge. No checkpoint after this. Considering the rest of the stage's generosity, I find it very strange why that section's missing it. That's a lot more dangerous than this one. To be fair, at least there's one part of the engine which acts consistently. See, this is the toughest jump, I'd say, up there with the red force beam. That's why I wanted a checkpoint before it. To be fair, getting back here isn't too long. It's not like the snake block level, where if you die near the end you lose 90 seconds of progress. After several failures I did it. In retrospect that isn't too bad, but for many players you will die several times. To be fair though, we're sliding down. The biggest part, the problem with sliding off of cosmic platforms in this engine is slide jumping. If you just need to slide off, it works relatively consistently, but when you need to do a slide jump off of a cosmic platform, that's where problems are. A similar situation arises with the Sparkman platforms to a lesser extent. But thanks for the observation, Fox. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the engine. The reason why I complain so much is because I care. I really want this to become a much better engine, especially as for many new Mega Man Maker developers and players, this may be their first introduction to fan games, considering this broke out of the sub-mainstream, and I want their first experiences to be much better than the issues being shown here. That's also part of the reason why I wish the Mega Mix engine, Magmal 2 and Magmal 3 had a better reception. And actually were more popular too. Take a while to guess what happened there. The 1.5 teleporter bug. It happens or strikes whenever your exit teleporter location is right next to a wall. I need to do that for every teleporter following it, excluding Kaiser stages. You know, the only danger in this fight is the big spark. This boss battle is a cakewalk. It should have been a different boss, probably like Fairman. Otherwise, just jumping back and forth, you'll dodge all the shots. Easiest part of the stage so far. Didn't like it as much as the previous stage I played by Lipatio, but it was fine. I'd probably mark it as normal hard, maybe on the edge of it because that last section, second to last section. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward to pull off. At the very least, you're not slide jumping off the Cossack platforms, you're just sliding off them. So I'll be ending off the stream now. Out of the 11 levels I covered during the stream, my favorite level would be Wet Man by Jedox74, with an honorable mention going to Facing the Storm and the Mud Normal by Lipatio. So tomorrow, I'll be doing a live stream of Rockman 4 Randomizer. Hopefully I'll be able to complete the entire game randomized, and if I'm able to do it during that stream, I'll move on to playing Mega Man 2 Atari D-Make if I have enough time. Same time, same place. Well then, I thank you all for watching, especially if you attended my morning stream, and I wish you all a nice day or evening, or whatever time of day you currently have. Toodles!